What quote hangs on your wall? Welcome to Goal Getting Quote of the Day. I'm Tony Woodall, your host, and I will share with you a great quote I've heard, read, or that's been shared by one of my guests on Goal Getting Podcast weekly show, where I ask, what quote hangs on your wall? Thanks for listening, folks, and I really appreciate it. Hello, goal getters, and welcome to today's Goal Getting Quote of the Day. I'm your host, Tony Woodall with Goal Getting Podcast, and I want to thank you for coming back and listening today. If this is your first time, I appreciate you stopping by and listening to our quote of the day. A special thanks to my friend and Goal Getting Podcast listener, Nathan Pierce, for today's Goal Getting Quote of the Day and for creating the graphic for our show today. You can find it on our show notes page at goalgettingpodcast.com/QOD-78. That's goalgettingpodcast.com/QOD-78. Now, Nathan is also the host of Microbrewr Podcast, and you can find the link to that also on the show notes page as well. And if you want to start your own brewery, well, I encourage you to go listen to Nathan's podcast because that's what it's about. Nathan shared a quote from Machiavelli that goes, "What remains to be done must be done by you. God will not do everything himself." Now, this quote reminds me of a story that I heard once, and I think I heard it years ago before Hurricane Katrina, but the last time I heard it, or maybe I turned it into a lesson again after Katrina, because it made a lot of sense and a good lesson thanks to that massive hurricane that destroyed lives and property. Jake lived in a house in New Orleans. He heard the news one day saying that there was a massive hurricane coming towards New Orleans. His neighbors, as they were packing to leave, told him he should do the same. Jake looked at them as they were driving off and said, "God will provide for me. I trust in God." The hurricane hit landfall, and the rains came. Water started filling up the land around Jake's home. The police came by and told Jake he should leave. Jake told them, "That's all right, I'll be okay. God will provide. I trust in God." The waters rose over the first floor, and Jake had to move upstairs. The National Guard came by in a boat to get Jake. Jake turned them away, saying all would be okay. God will provide. I trust in God. The dikes broke, and the waters rose above the second floor, and Jake had to move onto the roof. As Jake was sitting on the roof praying, a helicopter came by to rescue Jake. He waved them off. "I'll be okay. God will provide. I trust in God." Later that day, Jake appeared at the pearly gates before God. Jake sadly said to God, "God, why have you forsaken me? I trusted in you to provide me safety and to save me." God looked at Jake and said softly, "Jake, I sent you a warning by the media. I sent the police for you. I sent you a boat. I even sent you a helicopter. The rest had to be done by you." Now, the moral of that story and this quote, I believe, is that God will not do everything for you. Don't just trust in God for him to provide everything for you. He gives us great things, like a brain, like intelligence, drive, passion, and the abilities to do what we need to do to take care of ourselves. Machiavelli had it right. What remains to be done must be done by you. God will not do everything himself. Set your goals and then do what it takes to achieve those goals. It won't get done without you doing the actions needed to get the goals you set. That's why I always say, go out and make today a great day, because it's up to you to make it yourself. So thank you, Nathan Pierce, for creating the quote art for today's show and providing that great quote for the goal-getting quote of the day. You know, if you like that quote and you have a quote that hangs on your wall that motivates or inspires you and you want to be mentioned on the show, just like Nathan, and create the quote art graphic with your quote and send it to me at tony@goalgettingpodcast.com. You can then join the Goal Getter Nation, and I will put your quote on the show, give you a shout out, and put your quote art on our show notes page. And again, you can see Nathan's quote art at goalgettingpodcast.com/QOD-78. You know, if you like this quote or other quotes on Goal Getting Quote of the Day, we do have a new monthly offer of a collection of 20 awesome wallpaper-sized images full of great quotes. By subscribing for just $4.99 per month or $49 per year, we'll send you our monthly quote pack to help inspire and motivate you. All you have to do is visit goalgettingpodcast.com/images today and sign up. So thanks for listening to Goal Getting Quote of the Day. I would love it if you leave a comment below in our show notes and let us know what your thoughts are. Thank you, and go out and make today a great day.